It's over 9,000!
Hello, IO9000 Warhammer Fantasy fans, for our first battle report. Today we have the Mother of Phoenix taking on the 3rd Mountain Saints. Here's their lineups for the battle. Please enjoy. And leave comments below where what we did good, what we did wrong. I'd love to hear from you. Alright, and let's start at the deployment phase. We start with the Dwarf player placing 12 Thunderers up against the Grail Chapel to protect what I assume is to be artillery later on. Mother of Phoenix places down a unit of 5 Silver Helms. Dwarf places his other 12 Thunderers in the center. Then the Mother of Phoenix High Elf player places 10 Sword Masters along the flank as well with the Silver Helms. Dwarves place unit of Longbeards, another unit of Warriors. Elves place the unit of Sea Guard as well as Sisters. The Sea Guard are 2 inches back, so if the Dwarves get the first turn, the Thunderers will not be able to shoot on the Sea Guard. I don't know if that was good, bad, who knows. And Dwarf decides where he's going to put all his artillery pieces. He puts one up on the Grail Chapel, puts another one back behind his lines of Dwarves, and another cannon in there as well. Puts an organ gun to protect the riverside, where the Silver Helms and the Sword Masters will be moving up, as well as a flame cannon in the center. He also throws a grudge thrower over on the far left side. Interesting choice, you know, forcing me to go over and get that if I want those points, or if I can ignore it, it'll be blasting me all game long. Just puts in his characters. He really did not nearly have as many deployments as I did. A lot of distractions, unfortunately, dogs and people coming in. I decide where I'm going to put my Frost Phoenix, and I bring over my unit of White Lions with Alariel and Seahelm BSB over on the far left flank, where it's where a lot of my power is. Roll for spells. I got Dwellers Below, Regrowth, Throne of Vines, and I don't remember the 4th one. I think it was the Regeneration spell. My level 2 wizard got Lore of Beasts with the signature toughness spell, and then the toughness spell that gives your wizard or another character +3 toughness. Alright, we're here at the top of the first on the Dwarf player's turn. He moves up 6 inches with his Thunderers, then decides to use his Anvil of Doom enhanced power, and rolls and misfires and loses it. It's destroyed. A lot of points there for the Mother of Phoenix. Next up, all his artillery will fire. Starting off with his cannon fires on the Frost Phoenix, which it hits, but it only needs a 2 to wound, of course, and still no wound. Rolls a 1. He's not off to a good start. Second cannon will fire on the Sea Guard. It hits, and he takes out 2. Third cannon will get a shot off on the Sisters. Rolls, hits 1 Sister and rolls through and nails a Sword Master and wounds them both. The Flame Cannon fires on the Sea Guard. He needs maximum range to do a good amount of damage, and he rolls and misfires. And then he rolls the misfire chart, gets a 4, and he just can't fire this turn. To end the turn, he fires his Grudge Thrower, rolls, and blows it up. Okay, we're at the top of the High Elves' turn. Moves forward the Sisters into the cover. Swordmasters march. Silver Helms move up to the river. What else do we have? Gotta go check something, I guess. Be right back. The Frost and the Ice Phoenix will end up moving. I had trouble deciding where I want to put that Fire Phoenix because I want to just fly over all day. Then the White Lions move up, and Sea Guard, I believe, yeah, they just stay where they are. I mean, no real rush to move up. I got stuff in range. So, Winds of Magic, I got 7. He got 5. Of course, his Runesmith gets 1, and he takes 1 for the runes, so we end up with 6 to 7. Good old Dwarves, right? Cast myself Flock of Doom on the Thunderers, which get dispelled. The Sea Guard listens Wild Form, which overcasts, so They get +1 strength, +1 toughness, but I lose 1 level. Then my Sea Guard and Sisters fire on the Thunderers and do a total of a lot of wounds, and he has to take break test. That is the end of turn 1 for the High Elves. Alright, top of the second with the Dwarves' turn. The only movement the Dwarf player has is he fails a rally on a single Thunderer and he moves closer to the table edge. Shooting, Thunderers fire at the Frostbird, deal 2 wounds. His first cannon grape shots my Frostbird, doing 10 hits, and ends up killing the Phoenix, earning the Dwarf player 240 points. Flame Cannon fires on the White Lions, deals 6 hits, 1 wound. It should have been 4 wounds because we figured out later on that Flame is not magical, so my Dragon Banner would not have actually worked against it. I do take a leadership test, and I pass with a leadership 10 and a BSB, so I'm pretty good there. The second cannon, we also had a confusion. Perhaps you guys could help us out. With runed cannons count as magical, even if it's not based on the attack. With the Dragon Banner, 2-up ward save work, yes or no? Please let us know. His second cannon fires on my Fire Phoenix, hits, but doesn't wound, because another lovely one. And then his third cannon fires on the Phoenix, hits, deals 3 wounds. And then to end the turn off, his Organ Gun fires at my Silver Helms. He lands 8 hits, 6 of them wound, and I fail my armor saves. So he earns himself another 155 points for taking those Silver Helms off of the field. So overall, a good make-up turn for the Dwarves. So we'll see what happens next in the bottom of the second with the High Elves' turn. Alright, we're at the bottom of the second on the High Elves' turn. My Swordmasters march up to the river, moving themselves 10 inches. Hopefully they won't get wiped out by the Organ Gun like their Silverhelm friends did. The Sea Guard decide to move up 5 into the forest, and my birdie flies over his warriors, doing 8 hits and dealing 2 wounds. I debate White Lions charging, but instead decide just to march them up. Magic, I get 11 casts, 6 dispel. I channel, so I would be at 12, but the Dwarves take 1, and they have their 1, so 11 to 8. Flock of Dooms cast on the Organ Gun. 11 goes through. He lets it go, kills the Flame Cannon with 11 hits and 3 wounds, plus 140 points for Mother of Phoenix. I then cast Regrowth on the White Lions, get an 18 to cast. His 16 to spell is not good enough. I gain 2 White Lions back, and then I just, for the heck of it, throw Dwellers, and it fails, of course. Shooting phase, my Sisters decide to fire on the Longbeards. I deal 1 wound. And then the Sea Guards fire on the Warriors and deal a total of 3 wounds after firing a good 30 shots. So I don't know if that's good, but it happened. Alright, we're here at the top of the third with the Dwarves' turn. The single Thunderer who's still on the board finally leaves the board, giving the Mother of Phoenix 180 points. Warriors move up a little towards the White Lions, and then the Longbeards move back to protect their Organ Gun from the Fire Phoenix. Shooting, the Organ Gun fires at the Swordmasters, 6 hits and 5 wounds. They pass their panic test, though, and they stay. First cannon fires at the Fire Phoenix, does 2 hits, unfortunately 0 wounds. The second cannon also fires at the Fire Phoenix and misfires, and he's out this turn as well as next. Third cannon fires at the Sea Guard, deals a total of 3 wounds. And Thunderers fire on the White Lions, dealing 10 hits. And unfortunately, of those 10 hits, only a lot of them do wound. I want to say 8 of them wounded. But after armor saves and that 5-up ward save, only 3 of them ended up going down. So, not a bad, but not too good on the Dwarven player's shooting phase. So, alright, bottom of the fourth with the High Elves' turn. I move my Swordmasters out of the range of that Organ Gun so he can't get those points from me. My Phoenix flies over the warriors with its wake of fire, dealing 4 wounds. Sea Guards move to the river's edge, and my White Lions decide to charge those Thunderers. He stands and shoots and deals 2 wounds. Move on. I completely forgot my magic phase by jumping straight to shooting. Aleth Anar and the sisters fire on the Longbeards. The sisters deal 3 wounds. Aleth deals 2. Seaguard then fire at the warriors, dealing 3 wounds. We move on to close combat, where the White Lions, with my Sea Helm, BSB, and Alariel, take on the Thunderers, do 13 attacks, 11 hits, 8 wounds. Thunderers do 5 attacks, 1 hit, 0 wounds. They flee 7 inches. I pursue 12. I catch them, gaining 195 points for the Mother of Phoenix, and then overrun straight into that cannon up on the hillside, which is definitely not good for the dwarf player. So we battle there. I flub my rolls kind of, so I don't kill it fully, and then it ends up failing its break test, but then we realized that Dwarven cannons have the stubborn rule, so he actually passed. So after looking that up, his cannon is still there for another round of combat. That is the end of round 3. Alright, we're at the top of the 4th with the 3rd Mountain Saint's turn. Movement, he originally decides to do nothing. Goes straight to shooting with his organ gun, firing on my Phoenix. Unfortunately misfires and blows up. 120 points for Mothers of Phoenix. Then his cannon decides to fire at Aleth Anar over with my sisters. Nails him, dead on hit. Luckily my ward save goes off and he doesn't get wounded. He decides then that his warriors are allowed to move for some reason, whatever. Movement passed way by, but who cares. White Lions and cannon fight. Easily destroy the cannon, getting 135 points for Mother of Phoenix, and Reform getting ready to charge the cannon on my turn. We got a little behind there real quick, so I had to get those guys forward. Now we're on Magic. For High Elves, 8 to 7. I cast Flock of Doom with 14 cast. He lets it go through. I deal 3 wounds to his warriors. Then I attempt Dwellers. I get 19 on my roll, but he boxcars, double dispels. So, shoots Sisters of the Longbeard along with Aleth Anar. He deals 4 wounds, and the sisters do 2 wounds, so he loses 6 guys in that Longbeard unit. The Sea Guard also decide they want to thin some more beards over there, so they fire on them, dealing about 5 wounds more to the Longbeards. Of course, being immune to psychology, Longbeards don't care. Then we get into close combat, where the Phoenix just destroys the cannon. 1 wound originally, cannon crew to 0. Then with Thunder Stomps, gets a 6, 5 wounds. And then White Lions reform, and after slaughtering their cannon, get ready for battle. Top of the 5th, the Dwarves don't really do too much. They just kind of move so they don't get so many flanks. They get charged by White, then it becomes my turn. Get charged by White Lions, get charged by Phoenix, flank get charged by the Sea Guard. Thus begins close combat. Close combat really doesn't go in the Dwarves' favor. We do a lot of wounds to them. Pretty much he's left with his BSB, who ends up fleeing, and that's the end of the game. And that's the end of this IO9000 matchup between the 3rd Mountain Saints and the Mother of Phoenix. Final score, Mother of Phoenix, 2,775 victory points to 3rd Mountain Saints, 645. Thank you and have a good night. Please feel free to leave comments and questions below. We love to hear what you thought of the match, what we did right, what we did wrong, what we can improve on. Thank you for watching, and hope you'll stay tuned for our future battle reports. This is Tony, High Elf player, Mother of Phoenix, signing out.